artists touched by God, sharing a bond beyond time. This is a narrative filled with color, depth, and dedication. It is a true story, and what is not a certain historical fact is still a genuine feeling of adoration. The son of a miller, Rembrandt is known as one of the most loved painters of all time. Already experienced at the age of 25, the young Rembrandt from Leiden moved to Amsterdam to fascinate the world with his talent and to become the hero of the Dutch Golden Age.
She reminded me so much of an etching by Rembrandt, a woman who has been reading the Bible and has fallen asleep.
The voice that you have just heard is Vincent van Gogh's true voice, the one living in the letters sent to his brother Theo, his sisters, and artist friends.
Dear Theo, I've heard the Reverend Young 3 times. You would like him too. He has the feeling of an artist in the true sense of the word, as once Anderson wrote in his poem. Every evening came to me and whispered in my ear, telling of the quiet night and what its eye had lit on from its watchpost in the sky. It who knows centuries, through ages did it roll, casting high above the flooded crystal flow, on the floating arc, a soft silver glow, just as it now lights my lonely window. The preacher, our Father, often goes out at night, carrying his lantern, visiting sick or dying people, speaking to them about God. Father's word is also a light in the night of suffering. It is as if he lives in Rembrandt's etchings, like the flight into Egypt at night, or the atonement of Jesus. but all the same I feel very happy about it. The Latin words written below the etching by Rembrandt stick in my mind. They mean, in the middle of the night, the light diffuses its strength. I make sure that a small gas lamp goes on burning the whole night, and I lie, staring, thinking about my plan for work the following day, how to go about that study as well as possible. I will go for a long walk today, through the neighborhood. I haven't seen much of Amsterdam yet. There is a special house in the Breestraat, the house where Rembrandt lived. Story a couple of days ago. There is a place nearby where one can see in the distance a large part of the Borinage. The chimneys, mountains of coal, small houses, small black figures moving about like ants. Usually it's foggy, or else there is this strange effect of light and shadows of the clouds, reminding me of the paintings by Rembrandt. When I was surrounded by paintings and works of art, I took a violent passion for them. And Rembrandt, of course. There's something of Rembrandt in the Gospels, or of the Gospels in Rembrandt. Now, far from Amsterdam, I often feel homesick for the country of paintings. However, instead of giving way to despair, I took the way of active melancholy. Dear brother, if you ask me, what is your ultimate goal in life? I am sure that it will become clear, that it will take shape, slowly but surely, as the scribble becomes a sketch, and the sketch becomes a painting, as one works more seriously, as one digs deeper into the originally vague idea. There are 3 windows in my studio. They provide far too much light. Compare a modern window with one from Rembrandt's time. In those days, everyone had a sort of need for a curious, dimmed light. It doesn't seem to exist anymore. You'll see now that I can cover over 1 or 2 windows completely. And that's one general light that will make the effect of my paintings much stronger. Sudden death. Come, Vincent. Our Father, fatal stroke. Come, but it is over. My dear Theo, there have been days that none of us will forget. Life isn't long for anyone, and the question is just to do something with it. I'm working on those peasants around a dish of potatoes again. I've gone out to visit them, and back at home, I continued painting by lamplight. Dear brother, I wanted to tell you that I'm still hard at work on the potato eaters. I've started again on a new canvas and painted new studies of their heads. Also changed their hands a great deal. Above all, I'm doing my best to put life into it. It's taken me a whole winter of painting studies of heads and hands. It's been a formidable fight. I think you'll see what I mean from the painting itself. I've sent a lithograph copy to Anton as well. Finally, here is Anton responding.
My dear Vincent, you agree with me that your painting can't be taken seriously? You can do better than this. Fortunately. So why do you observe and treat everything so superficially? Why not study the movements? How they're posing. And that coquettish little hand of that woman in the back. How true.
I would be desperate if my figures were good. I don't want them academically correct. My great desire is to learn to make such inaccuracies, such variations, reworkings, alterations of the reality, that it might become very well lies, if you will, but truer and a literal truth. Oh, I need to see paintings. I'm going to the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. Oh, the Jewish bride by Rembrandt. What an intimate, infinitely sympathetic painting, painted with a glowing hand. One must have died many times to paint like this. It is with justice that they call Rembrandt a magician. Would you believe that I would give 10 years of my life if I could only stay here for 14 days, looking at this painting with nothing more than a crust of dry bread as food? Yesterday, I saw a large photo of a Rembrandt that I didn't know. It struck me amazingly. It was the head of a woman. The light fell on the breast, neck, chin, and the tip of the nose. Forehead and eyes in the shadow of a large head with feathers, probably red. She has a mysterious smile, like that of Rembrandt himself in his own portrait, where Saskia sits on his knee and he has a glass of wine in his hand. My thoughts are full of Rembrandt at the moment, not because I see many paintings by him, but because I see so many types among the people here who remind me of that time. I still often go to the dance halls in Antwerp to see women's heads and sailors or soldiers' heads. I have to pay 20 or 30 centimes to go in, drink a glass of beer, and amuse myself watching the folks' high spirits for a whole evening. At least I can.
Dear sister, when Vincent arrived here 2 years ago, I would never have thought that we could become so close. Now that I am on my own again, I feel emptiness in my home all the more. It is not easy to fill the place of a man like Vincent. His knowledge is vast. He has a very clear view of the world. I am convinced that if he has a few more years, he will make a name for himself. Through him, I got to know a number of painters that value him highly. He is one of the pioneers of the new ideas. Or rather, he is trying to revive ideas that have been falsified in routine everyday life and have lost their luster. And he has such a good heart too, and is forever trying to do things for others. All the worse for those who do not want to know or understand him.
Dear brother, you know, I feel like I'm in Japan. Arles and the Provence seem to me as beautiful as Japan, for the clearness of the atmosphere and the gay color of it. Here is a sketch of the latest canvas I'm working on. Another sun